let me tell you something you may not have realized. The U.S. presidential election is 2 months from today, November 3rd, 2020. That is crazy in its own right, but with that, Facebook has announced some more changes on its platform to help mitigate the spread of misinformation and to limit some political advertising. So for the misinformation side of things, we've seen a number of different platforms try to control this, but now we have Facebook going into it just a little bit more. We know there's a vast array of organizations and countries that are attempting to influence voters in one way or another. So to that end, the forwarding of messages on Messenger has been a problem when it comes to that. So Facebook announced today that they are making some changes by reducing the number of people users can forward a message to. So before this change, a person could forward a message, no matter what it was, to 150 people at a time. That's now been changed to 5. So if someone is massively spreading misinformation intentionally or not, at least it will take them a little longer to do so. For the political side of things, unlike Twitter and Reddit, which have been both banned, Facebook has not banned them. So for the political advertising side. But they did say that after October 27th, no new political ads will be approved to be placed on Facebook or Instagram. They said the reason for that is that the new ads that appear less than a week before the election could make false claims. There'd be no time to contest them. Regardless, this is a lot coming up as we get near this election. Again, 2 months away, so October 27th is that ban for political ads, new political ads on Facebook. I bet we're going to see a lot more things change, though, between now and then. You can follow along at digitaltrends.com. Amazon is looking to further entrench its smart assistant in our lives by creating a service explicitly for the use of property managers called Alexa for Residential. I promise I will not say that word anymore during this story, but as homes become smarter and we have more devices installed in them, apartment complexes and condos are looking to have smart capabilities already integrated for potential renters. So things like temperature control or alarms or a centralized speaker that gives you news and updates about the apartment complex would be enabled the second you move in. So the service also allows for customized skills to be created by the apartment manager, which actually could be really useful if you're moving in and don't want to have to take the time to create all of your own. Skills like paying your rent or even submitting maintenance requests. So to start, it will be used by a few property management companies, but expect more to jump on board as everything becomes smarter and tenants start seeing the benefits of it. Read more about it at digitaltrends.com. As the medical community and industry adapts to the ever-changing information about the spread of coronavirus, the use of robotics has increased exponentially. And there are some new abilities being touted by MIT with regards to their modified Boston Dynamics robot dog called Dr. Spot. So the Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston has been utilizing the robot by mounting a tablet on it, allowing a medical professional to interact with a patient while limiting the possibility of exposure to COVID. And with some advanced tech, they can also detect symptoms by observing them. So the robots have 4 cameras placed on them to gather data, with one of them being an infrared camera. And that one can measure the skin temperature of a person, then using an algorithm determine their body temperature while also monitoring their breathing rate. So the other cameras combine to monitor the constriction of blood vessels, pulse rate, and blood oxygen levels by using different wavelengths of light. So the combination of all of that gives the doctors enough information to make an assessment of the state of the patient's health so they can make further treatment recommendations from there. The study is still ongoing, but expect that these kinds of things will have lasting ramifications for the medical industry as a whole, even after this pandemic passes. So get used to creepy robots that can help you. Read more about it at digitaltrends.com. All right, the 12th Starlink rocket launch was yet again a success for SpaceX today as they deployed another 60 satellites, bringing the total to over 700 currently in orbit. And as for the launch itself, this was the 60th time that the first stage of a Falcon rocket was recovered as it landed on the drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, which is waiting in the Atlantic Ocean. So the pace at which Starlink satellites are going up is picking up steam as well, with the company saying they're producing about 6 more per day, with the goal to get around 1,400 to officially form its first network. But beta testing is already underway in North America, and they are now reporting some of the results. In order to receive the internet, subscribers will have a device that is apparently about the size of a laptop, which would essentially be like your router. The speeds being reported so far aren't too bad. They said the company is getting about 100 megabytes per second, so that's pretty good. It remains to be seen what the eventual pricing will be, but they've said it should be competitive with standard internet prices. And attention Starlink, I signed up for the beta, but I have not been approved yet, so if you want to speed that along. You can read more about Starlink at digitaltrends.com.